morning, everyone. Thanks for pushing yourself out of bed at 7 a.m. yet another day, and thank you for coming here. Our session this morning are things to make you feel better. So I pretty much emptied my house of all the therapeutic tools that I use in my practice, that my clients use and experience great benefit with, and lots of information, toys, gadgets. And so the first part of the session, I think we will go through some of these items. And then the last part of the session, I'm going to do from a head to toe, self-aware, self-treatment, maybe a little bit of guided meditation. So I think that's how it will go. So you see right down here, this gadget on the floor that's busy going away, moving back and forth. Oh, the timer went. This here is a chi machine. And my clients, I have one client who's a quadriplegic who uses this for an hour every day. And if she doesn't use it, she suffers from a great deal of back pain. And what it does, it just shakes her body, and it sends a wave of energy, like how a fish moves, or how like a sound wave moves, sound wave. And it loosens up her whole body. She just sits there and shakes and shakes and shakes. And this woman should have passed many, many years ago. She has very severe MS. And she's incredibly happy. And incredibly beautiful, if I might add. And she lays there, and the raven hair spread all over the pillow, looking as gorgeous as ever, using her chi machine. And she's found a way to be very happy with her condition. If she forgets to use her chi machine for a while, I go to see her and she, oh, my back pain. And I said, have you been using your chi machine? Oh, the caregiver didn't set it up for me. You know. So these are online. You can get them as low as $75. But if you've got achy joints and you have to keep pushing on through daily life, if you stop with one of these, especially when your walking is limited, you're not doing a lot of exercise, this is supposed to, and I'm not sure that it's actually true, but they say, you know, half an hour working on this is like a 90-minute walk with all the movement and energy that it puts through your body. But it's very relaxing. It helps you breathe easier just because it just shakes away all the tension. It has a lot of different speeds on it. There's this part here vibrates, so people can sit and put their bare feet on and vibrate, and these are supposed to stimulate the acupuncture points in your feet. And these red things here is, there's the vibration for putting your feet on. It tickles, and if anybody wants to kick off your shoes, you can give that a try. And there's the, oh, come on, infrared. These lights are supposed to come on with the infrared. Not sure why they're not. Anyway, infrared technology I found out about when I was at Kaiser Hospital waiting in their waiting room in emergency, and they had an ongoing loop about infrared technology. Yes?
For those that might find it a little bit difficult to get up on the floor, can you put that on the bed?
You can put it on your bed. And some of them have 3 things so that you can put your head on it and shake like this.
That one is for the feet?
Yes. Feet and your ankles. You lay down, put your ankles on it, shakes your legs like this. And they have all kinds. You have to be careful. If you're American, you're bigger. Some of them are made for in China, and the ankle things are really close together. There's not enough room for people who have thighs. I have to, when I use this one, I hold my legs together a little bit. So this infrared technology, this is hooks into a unit that gives it power. And this is a heating pad. Then all of these turn into bright red lights. And this light penetrates tissue with this infrared energy. And it manages pain, speeds healing, and sends warmth. And it helps you feel better. So Kaiser Hospital promotes these kind of things heavily for their chronic pain patients. And this is called Light Relief is the brand here, but you can look at infrared technology and do your research and see if it's for you. My clients appreciate it. A heating pad plus infrared technology. Yeah. This will heat up, and you choose how warm on the little machine that it comes with. This piece is actually broken. She wouldn't lend me her real machine, but this is worn out, and so she gave it to me.
Or you can buy it?
You just go online.
What's the name of that?
This is called Light Relief. It's infrared technology.
Light.
Yeah. And this Chi machine, those red things there, are also infrared. Can't believe those lights won't go in. You know what? I think it was less than $100, and there's all kinds. She ordered accessories to go with her kit. You know, much larger pads. So, you know, she puts this on her belly. So our bellies need to be warm. Usually, we get upside down with our breathing and some of our energy flows in the body. And so we tend to be hot-headed and cold-bellied. To be healthy, you need to have a cool head and a warm belly. So if any of you touch your belly now, it might be cool because you've got poor energy flow in this area. And so taking a warm pad here and bringing warmth to your belly helps to change the whole body. Because this is our energy center, this is our furnace, this is where we digest our food, and this is where our warmth should be. So in Chinese medicine, we have cool water energy, comes up and keeps the head cool, and that avoids headaches, etc. When your head is hot, you're hot energetically, hot temperature-wise. It's a better state to be cool in the head, less thinking, and you get really tense sometimes. So that's the infrared technology.
How big a day would be good? Sorry.
It's called Light Relief. And I found out about that, like we said, from Kaiser Hospital.
What did you say,
Light Relief.
Light relief.
Yep, and that's a registered trademark brand. Okay. This is, you know, with IBM, as the muscles start to go in the forearms and the hands, this is just a nice way to increase circulation. You always have to have good blood flow through every part of the body. Any part of our body gets hard. Even bellies that are hard and distended, there's not good energy flow through. Knots in the shoulders, it's hard for the heart to pump blood through hard rock tissues. You need to have ways to soften that hardness so that oxygen and nutrients can arrive to every cell of the body. And people who sit, they have very poor circulation through their sit bones and their lower body. So these gadgets are all about bringing circulation and movement into the cells. So vibration is very good. In the olden days, before they had electricity and technology, the technology then was shaking. and they would just shake until the energy moved through their body, soften the tissues so the blood could penetrate. So movement, it's so important. And so if you're not moving because of your health condition, you need to find other ways to move. Water therapy, massage, shaking, vibration, infrared, the chi machine, but something, you gotta keep it moving. Our muscles, one of their functions is to create heat when they contract. The other function is when they contract, they put pressure on vascular tissues and pump blood through the body. So when we exercise, the muscles really work to pump nutrition and oxygen through the body. So when we start to slow down, all of those natural processes in the body slow down too, and it allows disease processes to take over because there's really nothing intervening. So the immune system needs all the help it can get. It needs warmth and circulation, laughter. So, you want to try it? You put this anywhere.
What is that called?
This here is called a tappy, but even so who has IBM here? These, you hear that? These are from Asia, and these are actually quite beautiful little art pieces. But the purpose of these is to move them around your hands and exercise your hands and fingers. And they have chimes inside, and one's a high note and one's a low note. And it's supposed to balance both sides of your brain from the chimes. So sound therapy, and that's something that's big in the alternative medicine world. And our bodies respond to sound. You know what happens when you listen to a beautiful piece of music and it brings you to tears or memories or makes you happy. So music is very important, and this is using that music technology.
Can I tell you why I'm laughing? I got some of those as soon as I found out I was sick. I tried using them at work for a while, and it takes a while to get used to them. We had horrible floors at home. I spent more time chasing them around the house than I've actually used to do my hand, but they are wonderful. And if you have to go to San Francisco or Chinatown, they're only like $3 a set.
Really? Thank you for that. Anybody else want to play with them?
And what are these called?
They're called hand exercise balls.
You go one direction and then you can go the other. It really takes some practice, especially as we use our hands.
I would do it while you're watching TV, but hands are so incredibly important, right? They're our connection with the world. And when your hands start to go in IBM, you really need to pay attention to those hands and maintain whatever you can. Okay, so these here are magnets. These are from a company, Dawn Yoga is the name of this company, and they're from Korea. And they have Qigong, medical Qigong exercise centers all over the United States. They create the most beautiful books to do exercises at home. So this is Meridian Exercise Self-Healing. Okay? I'll show you one exercise that I took out of this book that's very helpful. They had book 1 and 2, and then they came out with a bigger one. Beautifully illustrated. It involves the activation of all the energy meridian channels, the acupressure points, opening up the body for energy. Their philosophy is incredible. For business practices, if you find a center in your area, their classes are amazing. And they're a little bit expensive, probably $1,000 a year for a membership, worth it. But then when they try and get you into private sessions, very expensive. And they take you to healer school where you learn how to heal your own bodies, very expensive. And so as long as you just have a membership and go to their classes, they're a phenomenal company. So here, I'll pass, you can pass these around if you like. Sorry. Is that okay? Sheralee is the founder of this company. Okay. Anyone else with IBM hands? These are little magnets, and they're designed to sit and meditate with. And I used to have a real solid meditation practice, and I got married about 4 years ago, and all that spiritual studying activity I did went down a little bit. But when I'm really tired and I've got to go and teach a bunch of therapy classes at the pool, or I've got something important to do, I just sit for a few minutes with these in my hands. And magnetic technology is another awesome tool because it draws the iron in the blood and makes blood move. So pass those around, put one in each hand. The kit comes with 3, and those only cost $10, and they come from this company, Dawn Yoga, and it can be ordered online with some of their books. Their books are not expensive. They're incredibly awesome. Sometimes people feel the energy of those right away. This is a knee brace. And I've had this for a very long time. When I was young, in my 20s, and not at all overweight, at least in my own mind, the chart said I was off the map. I know. Don't they know people that got muscles? So this is full of magnets, all through here. And to find one like this is hard, especially if you have big knees. So instead of being able to find this recently in my own life, I've found a pool, started teaching my aquatic wellness classes. I teach from the deck, and I do hundreds of squats every morning that I teach. I now have 3 classes in a row some days. So after I'm done, I go home and I go up the stairs, and my knees hurt. They're carrying a big girl, and sometimes my knees need a little help. Now the copperware, you see them advertised on TV, but they use compression, and they squeeze the knee and give it support for those knees that are weak, where the muscles are atrophying around. They also create heat. They have copper wound into the nylon, and these are also very affordable. And pass these around. So, don't suffer through pain. Find some little tools that help. So when I was young, when I was telling you I wasn't overweight, my knees used to swell up like cantaloupes. When I was young, I didn't deal with my stress very well. So my body had all kinds of crazy health things that went on. For no reason at all, I'd do a little teeny bit of walking, and I was an athlete. But my knees would swell up like cantaloupes. My jeans would be stretched out like this. And so I would wear those little knee socks with magnets. The knees would go right back down. They're warm, and the magnets draw the blood. The copper technology is a little bit different, but they use compression and heat. As you put those on, you feel warm. With that copper technology, they have clothes. They've got spandex, spiked shorts, they've got undershirts and tank tops, and it just it helps blood circulation and circulates a lot of heat through the body. And heat's very, very therapeutic. It's energy. And so rather than losing your heat energy to the environment, it keeps that heat energy in, and your body uses it to support all the functions.
Can you wear those while you're walking, or is it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You can. If you know that you're going through a museum, you're going to be walking all day, put them on first.
Can you pass it when you're done over here?
Yeah, send all those things around the room. And when you look online, you'll probably see all kinds. These just slip on and they're really easy. I didn't want any big bulky thing that's got Velcro and that when if I bent down that I'd feel a bunch of stuff bunching up behind my knees. And so the copperware ones are nice, thin fabric, but boy, you sure feel them immediately. They just warm everything up. And of course, if you can find something like the white one with all those little magnets in, it's just awesome. Okay. Here's another tool, and this is by yeah, I feel like an infomercial, and I really don't believe in selling products, and so but I've tried all of these things. My customers have benefited from them, and so they might be helpful to you. Sometimes doing local, warming the knees or giving them support might need you to take less pain medication. If you use this chi machine and let it shake you and loosen you and get your blood flow, less pain medication, less pain. Okay. So this here is a biofeedback machine, and it goes on your computer. It's really simple. This too is less than $100. And you load up the software on your computer, and you put the little clip on your earlobe, and it takes your blood pressure, your heart rate, and your biorhythms, and it shows you a real-time chart of what's happening in your body. And then you click on a thing and you play a biofeedback game. So you start out with an empty environment. It's a picture of a forest with nothing in it. And you you look at the screen underneath, and there's a wave that goes like this. And your breath has to follow it. You're breathing in, follow the wave, breathing out. And it trains you into this rhythmic breathing. And the more your breathing starts to match the wave on the screen, your forest starts to bloom with flowers and baby deers and a little pond with lily pads and frogs, and then the birds arrive. And it's funny because my husband's a gamer. I hate that about him. I love the rest of them. Anyway, I've had a breath practice for many years because I was assessed one day by a Russian practitioner. He squeezed my ribs and he said, "Your ribs are brittle. The ribs should be flexible." And he says, "Breathe in. Can you expand your ribs with your breath?" My ribs did not move. I was really unhealthy. I was in a management role, and I was stressed and tight and tightly wound and drinking too much coffee and not enough water, and my breath reflected the poor condition of my health. So with his advice, I started the breath practice. And 4 years after starting the breath practice, I was seeing fabulous benefits. It's a gift that just keeps giving. You start small, be at a red light while you're driving, and you've got a few minutes to spare. Drop your hand down to your belly, diaphragmatic breathe until the light turns green. Gradually become more and more aware of your breathing patterns. Get them deeper and more rhythmic. Use it to calm yourself down when you get tightly wound. If you start your day horribly and you get really tense, your day doesn't have to continue that way. People say, "No, now my day's blown. I slept in, now I'm going to rush and I'm stressed." And you can leave it right there. Stop, breathe, reset your body. Don't carry that stress around with you. So this is a tool that you can use to train your breath, and it gives you that visual impact. So about my husband, we both played the game. Now, he's not near as healthy. He doesn't do anything to look after his health. But he won this game so damn fast because he's a gamer. He got the object of the game to breathe properly. And he outpaced me, beat me, And I was so upset because I've had this breathing practice for years, and an unhealthy guy beats me right away. So it can be funny. You can have competitions with your family members. So that's, this here is called the M-Wave, and this comes from a company that's called HeartMath. And HeartMath is a company that's done an incredible amount of research about the heart. The heart is not just a pump that moves blood around your body. Your heart is another brain. Your heart, when it, if they do these resonance machines where they see what you emit from your body, your heart puts waves out huge into your environment. Your brain waves, they're kind of small. They don't go very far. They've done studies and they found out the heart has an intelligence and a wisdom that we are only starting to find out how powerful this heart is. And so they've got lots of information to learn more about the heart. And when people breathe, and they breathe into your body, you integrate all the parts of your being. So here we have a brain. Our heart has a ton of brain matter around it. It does more than just pump blood. It feels and it senses and it thinks. And when you allow, the heart connects with the brain and helps you with your decision making. Another big brain is down here in your belly. The enteric nervous system that runs your digestion also has an incredible amount of brain matter in it. And you think about your gut instinct, where you can feel that somebody's jerking your chain or lying to you, or you can tell that person's a bad person and you're going to walk on the other side of the street. That's your gut. It is a brain. And so when we breathe deeply into our body, it connects this brain with this brain with this brain, and we're much wiser beings. And I think one of the reasons why disease processes take over our body is because we're fragmented and disconnected. We breathe up here, we're not in touch with our own wisdom, our own cellular matter. And so these kinds of products are really good educational devices to retrain.
I have a really bad habit of breathing shallow, and then I'll catch myself again. I need space. Something like that opportunity to...
Yes, especially if you need a tool. Some people will say, okay, I know I don't breathe well. I'm just going to start breathing at red lights. And I might go on YouTube and Google breathing exercises and just take a bunch of free online courses and learn how to breathe that way. Lots of ways. You can go to yoga classes. But yoga breathing isn't just for yoga class. That deep diaphragmatic breathing is how babies breathe. And we just live in a difficult time. Just being able to maintain your health plan. Worried about getting kicked off of it. And what, I do dog rescue stuff. And there's so many people that have to sell their home for their medical bills, give up their pets to a shelter. It's just so sad. Really, people need to take more of your health into your own hands. Those things that make you feel better, that keep blood moving through your body, that's your responsibility. The doctor can't help you with that because that's something that you've got to do morning till night, day in, day out. This is a fine-tuned machine. It has a pH, it has an internal body temperature. It needs everything to be moving and flowing. Anything, if you look at a river, and if the flow of the river stops and it doesn't have a new source, it stagnates and rots, and all the life that's in it dies. And so our body is exactly like that. It needs really good flow through. So whether you use breath, whether you use vibration, magnets, something to help you when you can't. So if your legs work really good and you can walk around the block and get your breath going, that's great. You don't need any tools. You've got it all organized. But if you can't get up and walk because you're tired and full of pain, there's these other things that'll help replace that exercise. And especially for people in wheelchairs, I couldn't recommend these kinds of things enough. The clients that I have that use these, it's phenomenal the effect that, the life-giving effect that it has with them. Okay. Does anybody have numbness and tingling, neuropathy in the hands and feet? I do too. I do body work as well as aquatic therapy, and I'm working with doing massage on a person in a wheelchair, and I put my hands down the back of the chair, and I'm in there doing this really hard on my wrists and elbows. So I've had carpal tunnel for about 10 years, quite an unrelenting condition. And then at night when I sit at the computer, I'll get restless legs. And very scary, you know. So I tried everything because I'm a healer and a health practitioner myself. I did everything. You know, I got the physical therapy exercises, the hand exercises. I did everything that I should have. And I would get little bits of relief. But then I'd go kayaking and the hands would get all flared up and whatnot. And so it was getting to the point where I had to choose. Am I going to get out of this line of work because my hands clearly can't take it? And what I found was, I'm going to pass these around. Now, so I went the full route with my medical practitioner at Kaiser with this neuropathy, and I got a lot of nerve conduction testing and test this, test that, but where's the help? Like, yeah, you can test everything, but where's the follow-through? And there wasn't really any. So I found, where is it, this one? I found this product online, and it's a little bit expensive. It's $69 a bottle. It's called Neuropathy Support Formula. And immediately when I started taking it, the carpal tunnel left my hands. It was just awesome. But it's high-dose B vitamins. And then my energy started to go through the roof. I was starting to feel better. I was taking on more and more. I was basically not in very good fitness at the time, and it was marriage that did that. Anyway, I'm going to pass these around too. So anyway, I started taking these. They were excellent. And then they started to slow down. They weren't working as well. And I went to the health food store to see what else they had. And I found this thing called Nerve Fix, and it's a homeopathic remedy. And this works like a charm. And I tell everybody about it, and other people try it, and they go, "You're right, it works like a charm." And then they tell other people about it. And I love homeopathic remedies because they basically have 0 side effects. You can try them. If they work, great. If they don't work, don't do it again. There's no harm done. But they're awesome. And the homeopathic remedies, they have them for everything. For like Bell's palsy, which is paralysis for half your face, or every symptom that you have from myositis, I guarantee you there's a homeopathic remedy for it. But look into other things. And I'm sure that your homeopathic remedies won't conflict. Some of the herbal things will conflict with your medication, and a lot of doctors say don't take herbs. The nice thing about this company here, they had a little booklet right in the package. Most of them say go online for the booklet. But I opened the package, there was a little booklet in there. It had everything all the physical therapy, all the massage therapy, everything that any practitioner would ever do for your carpal tunnel. They had information about it for you to be well informed. And no service that I know of does that. You know, they just want you to take their product and want you to do other things. And so I thought, this company it's got ethics. So anyway, I'll just, you can keep things because they're all empty and just empty packages.
Did anything for your restless legs?
Oh, the restless legs went away in 2 weeks with the first vitamin. The first vitamin, the neuropathy support that you buy online. This company only sells, I think, 3 products. A vitamin sleep aid, which works. They give an antioxidant that helps this the neuropathy support vitamin work better. But you can get that from your health food store. Neuropathy support, there's one bottle going around, and then I had lots of this Nerve Fix bottles and packages going around. But awesome. And so I still work. I still do body work. I haven't had to end my career, and no symptoms whatsoever. And it's kind of worth it. It cost me $80 a month in these vitamins to keep working. And I, like I said, I went medical route and got nowhere, and so I had to take my health in my own hands and do that. Okay, so what else we got here? So one of the most amazing resources out there is this author, John Kabat-Zinn. He's actually a Buddhist monk, American Buddhist monk, but he's an awesome fella. You know, if Buddhism is kind of a scary word for you, it doesn't matter. And Buddhism offers some of the best tools out there for managing your stress, for improving your awareness, improving your internal body awareness, and managing chronic pain and chronic disease. And pass this book around. He has all kinds of products that go. So this is a full DVD set using wisdom of your body and your mind to face stress, pain, and illness. So all kinds of guided meditations and practices to take your health into your own hands. Feel your body. You know what we do? We get afraid and we run away from our bodies. We back hurt. Oh, medicine cabinet. You know, instead of, say, doing something else. We need to move towards all of our ailments, all of our pain, from inside, not from out there. A lot of times when we choose something out there, it's not as effective as healing from the inside out. So really getting friendly with your pain, curious about it. So this, I'm going to pass this around. In here, he would guide you. Say your back ached, and maybe we can do an exercise. This in the end. You go in and you sit with your pain. Now nobody wants to go and sit with their pain. You want to run away from it. But if you sit with your pain, you're going to learn about it. And what you'll learn about pain isn't constant. It doesn't slam you and stay up here at a really high level. Pain moves in waves. Or it might throb. It might go up and it might go down. But when you watch your pain and you watch it let go and ease, you go, oh, I don't need to be so afraid of this pain being up here and staying up here, because there are moments where it lets go. But we miss those. You know, you're not paying attention. And you can breathe into that pain. You can use affirmations, visualizations to send your breath energy to circulate around that pain, and you can make it go. You can visualize it leaving the body. And the more you practice these things, the better and better you get at using your breath and awareness to make the pain move through your body. Mind over matter is powerful tools to learn. So this is also connected with this book and the same author, Mindfulness-Based Meditation for Pain Relief. Now, this fellow here, John Kabat-Zinn, started a program called Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction. And it is run out of more than 200 hospitals in the United States. I've taken the course. It is absolutely amazing. The leaders are awesome, and they sit you down and they say, okay, here's a list of emotions. What does anger feel like in your body? Do we think about that? What anger feels like in our body? Because if we did, we might choose not to be angry. Anger is optional. We don't need, when you have anger in your body, you know what anger feels like in your body? It hurts. And if you hang on to it for long, it turns into full body aches, headaches, backaches. Each body is stiff necks. Anger loves to hang out from here to here. And if you can't move your neck all of a sudden, maybe you might look at what's been irritating you. And most of us are so totally unaware of our emotions that we don't even know we're angry. And anger comes easy because somebody might pull in front of you while you're driving. Boom, you're angry. But nobody witnesses it. And you're not really paying attention to, oh, I just ran a whole chemical soup of anger throughout my entire vascular system. And guess what? While that anger is running through your system, those feel-good chemicals, that you get running through your body when you laugh or when you experience a hug or a smile, those good chemicals cannot run through your bloodstream while you're angry or while you're stressed. It's a one-way highway. It's one or the other. You can't flip, flip, flip. So you need to be very mindful about what those emotions, those toxic emotions, are doing in your body. So these resources I'm passing around get into all of that. And so you don't even go to all these horrible places in the first place. I'm really good for, I'm going to talk about my husband again. I'll get mad at him and I'll be righteous about it. I know I'm right about this. I really need to stand my ground. And I'll hold that anger in. I talk to him in a passive butter voice and not angry and try and, I don't rage or whatever. But I hold all that in. By the next day, my back hurts so bad. So if I don't want back pain, I gotta leave him be. I gotta, look after my stuff, look after me, and leave him be. But I'm kind of one of those people who likes to meddle in other people's stuff. But that's my thing that I have to learn. If I want to feel better in my own body, I gotta stay out of other people's stuff. I can't control things that aren't mine to control. So I'm learning. And it helps if when you got a disease, you got to learn that stuff too. Because it's some of that stuff that brought you to this place of having the disease in the first place. So I just love this CD set. And this is by Deb Shapiro. And she's a body worker and a psychologist. And she says your body speaks your mind. So she talks about all kinds of chronic pain issues and how they come from behaviors, from emotions. And so, and then she talks about diseases and how you can actually map emotions to soft tissue damage, fluid damage, or bone damage. And so it's a whole different way of thinking, this mind-body medicine. And when you get into this, got stacks and stacks of resources on this mind-body medicine where the healer within, cure your own body, the wisdom in yourselves. This is Bruce Lipton, PhD. He's a cellular biologist. When he discovered his, when he had his discoveries about cells and the immune system, and he tried to go up. He's got 45-minute lectures on YouTube for free. You don't have to buy a CD set. He's offering it for free. Go and learn. Bruce Lipton. He's incredible. So he was blackballed from the industry, from all his doctor buds, because he talked about stuff that nobody wanted to know. Because you can't take a pill for this kind of stuff. Nobody wants to fund research for this kind of stuff. It's hard to track and it's very individualized. So the medical community can't really go there. It's different for everyone. They can't say that this is going to happen 100% of the time in everybody. It's individual pathways. So, all right. Here's another awesome speaker, and this guy's different. This is Dr. John E. Sarno, and he says, this is the epidemic of mind-body disorders, which include all the inflammatory disorders. We are in an epidemic of mind-body disorders, inflammatory disorders. Inflammation is how the body responds to a stressor. If you keep that stressor starting up over and over and over and over again, the immune system completely breaks down, and however your weakness translates in your body, it will attract the symptoms of certain diseases. Now, he calls his stuff this right here. I have several books of his, and the other book has it right. He calls it myositis. And basically, it's how he'll do lots of case studies in these books. So he'll take someone who's a son who's got a father that, say, wants him to be a lawyer or a doctor, and that son didn't want to be any of those things. He wanted to be an artist, and he lived an entire life of conflict with his parents. And so when he grew up as an adult, he carried this deficit with him in his body and never let it go. And it turned into a disease. So this guy works with those people. He finds some of that deep underlying stuff, gets them to understand how it's worked on their body. And so then they're able to heal it on their own. And so it's just interesting that he calls this condition myositis. It's not the same myositis that we've diagnosed, but I'm sure that there's some carryover and some great information. And he's an old guy. He's the old kind of doctor, the old kind of science. He's not your woo-woo new age practitioner. He's a staunch science guy, but he's talking about this mind-body medicine as well. So you can pick your teachers, the style of, okay. You've probably all heard of Norman Cousins. He's got a book, I think it's called The Anatomy of an Illness. And so he was the first one that really started to write about how people can heal their own illnesses. He had a terrible health condition that he healed. Never be sick again. Health is a choice. Learn how to choose it. So there are a lot of choices. When we run toxic chemicals through our bodies, through stress and stress responses, and we do it all the time, those rest and restoration chemicals cannot make their way. And one of the best ways to move those stress chemicals out of the bloodstream is through breath work that communicates directly to your nervous system. So I taught a couple workshops here on healing breath work. Your breathing is run by your nervous system. Now we have relaxed breathing. It's works hand in hand with our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and restore. We must have our parasympathetic nervous system active to be able to heal. Okay. So I'm going to send this around. This is a breathing box. It's got little cards in here, great breathing exercises that help the whole body. Maybe we'll do one at the end if I don't talk my way out of getting kicked out of the room. He's got DVDs, audios, and a small little book. It's not hard to get the skills for the breathing. So when we breathe through our left nose, we're in a restful state, and where our parasympathetic nervous system is active. When we're breathing through our right nostril, our sympathetic nervous system is going. And the way the body works is like this. And we're in parasympathetic, and then sympathetic, and parasympathetic, and they're supposed to be in 20-minute cycles. And the body's in balance with its activity and its rest and restoration. People who breathe in their upper chest, who don't breathe with their diaphragm, who don't handle their stress well, they get themselves stuck in their sympathetic nervous system. And that's what causes fibromyalgia and chronic pain syndromes, is the sympathetic nervous system running the show. And as long as your sympathetic nervous system is running the show, your body is in protection mode. The body can't. I've got to keep all the enemies away. I can't look after myself until the path is clear. And so the parasympathetic system will not engage in your sleep. You may not be sleeping well to get that stage 4 sleep. And the sympathetic system just forces you to, every cell and around every cell, and this is Lipton. What I'm talking about right now is from Bruce Lipton's work. Bruce Lipton discovered that in every cell, around each cell, we've got about 100 gateways. And when the state of life that we're in, from moment to moment, if I talk too long? Okay, so I'll finish this one point really quick then. When we're stressed all the time, all the gateways around every single cell turn into receptors for stress responses, for stress chemicals. Okay? So we've got to force our body through breath, through relaxation, through laughter, through managing our emotions, to the need for that lining around every cell to change all of its receptors for all the positive things. Receptors for joy, receptors for healing, receptors for restoration. And these things around the cell will completely change over. When you have a full year of stress because somebody died and life is horrible, all those receptors around every cell goes into a stress response to run all those stress chemicals. When we get out of that stress, all those gates and receptors around that cell will change to a healthier body. So we can change ourselves to healthy through the resources that I've just passed around. So that's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.